So before I start off, thank you very much for joining in. And people who have just joined in, I'll be again short and snappy. Um, the session of 1 hour is divided into two parts. One is to show you the presentation of common questions that we all have. And the second part is we'll throw open the question or like throw open the session to everyone. So please raise your hand. We'll unmute you and then you can answer your question. So that's how we tend to move forward. And if there are any suggestions, please put it up on chat or you can message us on WhatsApp also, since pretty much everyone knows everyone and we can go ahead and from there. So the session is Go Digital now. Of course, it's the most important thing today that we need to be digital. All our things that are moving today are digital. And this especially comes in the context of the pandemic, COVID-19, Corona. But if we don't despair over things today, the first thing that I can tell you is there's an opportunity in this adversity. The opportunity is if you are in supply chain, you are in high demand. If you are in medicine, you are in high demand. If you are in plastic, you are in high demand. Even if you're not and you plan to set up something, these are the ways to go. And definitely, these businesses will at least last for, I would say, another 1.5, 2 years, where we all will be wearing masks, headgear, gloves, and everything else. So there are businesses that are thriving even in this adversity today. So moving on, how the current businesses can move to being digital. That's the idea. Okay. So this is going to be our approach. Couple of things that we are going to be talking is uh, digital versus traditional, digital marketing mythbusters, understanding insights, grow organically, the right content, new trends that we should look into, and what we can help you with. Okay. So, and if anytime, if anyone has a question, you can raise your hand, we'll put you on and you can ask your question. So the first thing in our approach would be that you need to build a digital property. Now, what do I mean by that? If you already are a store, like I spoke to Ashish and Aditya, Ashish is into leather accessories, Aditya is into stainless steel. So if if these are the two kind of businesses, then we should how we can take it online. The first step would be to have an e-commerce store. If you are a teacher, then you could have a like your own course module that you're upselling on e-commerce. Okay, so it's the product can go digital, a service can go digital. So the idea should be how we need to leverage digital is by creating a digital property. Okay, if you are an individual, what you need to be doing is you need to build your own personal brand. So I think Rishi Nanda is also part of this group. So Rishi Nanda is a mythologist. So he's kind of building his personal brand online. We have built his website, rishinanda.co.in. So that is something that we would highly recommend. If you are an individual, you want to showcase your expertise, you need to build your own personal brand. So that would be the best way forward. Um, Digital versus traditional. So, like we always say, we are so used to the medium, the newspaper, the television, the radio, we are used to it. But we are also used to, and this is what I want to tell you very strongly, we are also used to the mobile today. And the medium has changed, the message has become interactive, but the conversation remains the same. It's not like a technical conversation we are having today. Second, the best part about being digital today is your data is being saved. Like if you would go to a regular store, the store wala will only come and tell you, sir, naya product aaya aap try kar lo, depending on your profile. But here the Amazons and the Flipkart and every other website tells you, yeah, what you could buy next. So that's the beauty. So if you have your own what do I say, own digital property, you have your analytics insights which are being saved, and that is where you basically Talk about, you can share more details with your customer. Discovery, high on traditional. Remarketing works best on digital. Okay. So if you want to discover new products, you have your entire newspaper and you discover new brands. Remarketing, you know, there's this whole idea when you look for something new on Amazon or Flipkart and you move on to a newspaper website, that ad follows you. That's remarketing. Messages. So messages, memorable messages are all traditional messages. So you would remember a Amul, a Nike, those memorable messages will always be from the traditional medium because you have given your time to those medium. What digital needs is interactive and consistent messaging. So you need to be consistent in the same style of messaging that you put together. Now, it's a good and bad part that digital keeps evolving. So the way you see it, digital marketing mythbusters. So first, let me make it easy for you. You don't need a knowledge of coding. You don't need any design knowledge per se. You just need to be in the right mindset that I want to go digital. If you are in that mindset, we will take you digital. Now, there is a lot of data, analytics, insights that are there, and which is not difficult to understand. If you think that analytics will bring in much better uh, challenges for you to understand, it's not that way. It's actually going to ease off if you answer one question: what do you want to achieve? So if you are very clear what do you want to achieve from your digital marketing, you can actually use all the social media platform insights and even Google Analytics from your website to actually help you build that up. So the first thing you need to know is what you want to achieve. Second, understand your audience, pain points, and create those messages that addresses those pain points. Engage with the audience and a call to action. You'll see a call to action in this presentation also that we have created. So the idea should be that you create this content and distribute this content to acquire new clients or to retain existing clients. Being in the pandemic today, that is your biggest opportunity. So you are all into either businesses or a profession that you are in, but how do you stay in the minds of the customer? You probably want to write a blog post. Now, if you think blog post is way too much, just write 4 points that are insightful or a learning experience from your profession and share it with your network. I think those are the kind of things that your clients, potential clients, will really like it. Now, is digital marketing expensive? No, if you compare it to a television. No, if you compare it to a print media. But is digital marketing expensive in a way? I think it totally depends on how and what your objective should be. So, but here's the point: you can also grow organically. You can know your niche, you deep dive into a specialization and share that content with the audience, connect with your audience, you know, and distribute the content, which I've already mentioned earlier. You join a niche community, and even better would be you create one community of similar minded people, same, people who are of have same interests, and that's how communities are formed. And then you take it forward with your niche forward. So I think one of the keywords that I would want to recommend is to choose your niche clearly. And the best part, you recommend and refer others. What is the right content to go on social media? Okay. I think the right content would be that you address the pain points. You engage with engage with them. So you basically engage with your audience, and you need to be relevant with your content and have a call to action in the end. New trends. Facebook shop has just started. If you think e-commerce shop is uh, too enamoring, too expensive, Facebook shop could be the next thing that you could use. You can create Facebook shop. You can actually buy and sell on Facebook. The percentage of what Facebook keeps is higher though. But if you actually look at something like uh, having your own shop on the fan page, I think that would also work. But let me also tell you, people on Facebook log in because they want to socialize, not buy. People on Amazon log in because they are very clear they want to buy. So again, Facebook shop becomes a good visibility awareness exercise. And in the end, I think you create your own e-commerce store is what I would recommend. So what are the digital skills that one needs today? So you need to have content skills, you need to have design skills, and you need to understand the audience behavior online. I feel if someone knows a language, can write content with no grammar errors, I think you already have the skills in place. You just need to make it sharper and shorter for social media. Design skills, if you see, you would probably want to just look at it from a perspective of how to make things simpler. How to reach that, what do I say? How do we reach out to um, uh, like how do we make it simpler in terms of having flat colors and not try and make it verbose and try and create a large like a khichdi around your design. It should be simpler, it should be catchy. Okay, sorry, just 1 second. I have some questions on chat, I will address them. um, Audience, understanding audience online and on mobile. People are spending time on online and on mobile, and you know what the best way to find it? Call your customer. Believe me, if you hire us, we would ask people 2 or 3 customer mobile numbers, and we will call them and ask how do they consume social media, what are the websites do they log on to. And I think that is the first step you need to take. And you can do this every 10 days, every 2 weeks is what I would recommend. By the way, today people are even logging on to Mitro. Mitro has some 5 million downloads, which is the exact replica of TikTok. So I want to leave uh, the presentation on this, that we can help you set up this website if it's your own shop on Shopify, on e-commerce. We can help you create your own personal brand. We can consult in creating your own digital marketing approach, and we can implement your social media strategy. So that's wow. In 15 minutes, we kind of finished the presentation. And so now we are open to questions. And if I will address the questions that people are asking on chat first, um, and then I will request everyone to keep yourself on mute till the moment. Okay. Hi, Bikram. Hi, Ram Kumar. Okay. Uh, Vibhuti is asking, the dependence on FB shop placed by people is very low due to no return and service guarantees. Yes, I agree with you on that. And not just because of that, it is also because we log on to social media because we want to connect with people, we want to know what people are doing. In this case, if you look at a Facebook shop, I feel it's, if you set up a Facebook shop, it's good for visibility exercise rather than actual selling, because people don't come to Facebook to buy anything, but they come to Facebook to know there are products available for me. Like Instagram has a shop option today, and especially if you're on a product base. Is Shopify a good platform, good in terms of charges and efficiency? um, Vishesh Arora. Vishesh, I strongly feel that Shopify is not a great platform uh, because I have my own developers, honestly. Because we started with Shopify, but we felt limitations on the platform itself. But if you want to do something on your own, Shopify is a great way to go ahead with. But once you face the limitations, you will realize that Shopify is saying, okay, these are the 10 things we are giving you at amount X. But if you want one more, you have to pay 2X. If you want two more, you'll have to pay 4X. So that is how Shopify kind of increases the entire scope. But that said and done, if you are going ahead, like I said, on your own, go ahead with Shopify. But if you're thinking of e-commerce, hire us. Bikram said, how to build your personal brand? Bikram, amazing question, very large. But let me say this to you. There are, I don't know, so many ways to build your own personal brand. One of them being to write a book. Second one being to, what do I say? Uh, Actually, the idea should be that you keep on writing about your expertise on a weekly basis. So even if you end up writing what 200 to 300 words every week, believe me, after like 52 weeks, that would be a month, you could publish that into a book. And that same content that you're writing every week, we could actually create social media posts depending on what kind of business you are in, to sell it on, put it up on Facebook, LinkedIn, and even WhatsApp for business. So I think one of the key idea is here is one, through content, and the second is to build a community around it. So that is what I would say. Um, and of course, Bikram, we can talk one-on-one more about how to build a personal brand to know your business and then take it forward from there. Uh, this is the next question. So sorry, I missed Tarun. Okay, Bikram, Tarun. I own a social media agency. How to get more clients online and how to generate leads. Tarun, you're my competition, but all said and done. Tarun, a couple of things that I think I can really tell you how, I will not say how we work, but I think the idea is references, case studies, and testimonials, and share that across to potential clients. That's said and done. And I think LinkedIn is what Facebook used to be 5 years back. So if you put something up on LinkedIn today, I think you're getting a lot of traction on LinkedIn. So Tarun, let's you let me know if you use LinkedIn and how it works for you. You connect with me also. If you have not realized, my meeting ID is my mobile number, so you can connect with me and we can work something together. Amit, what is better on digital platform? Organic growth versus buying? Okay, so um, Amit, my answer would be organic growth versus buying. I would say that you start with organic growth first. You see what works for you, because also what I feel is the first step would be that people who know you will buy from you. People who know you would recommend you, and those are the kind of people that you want to, you know, showcase your credibility and trust with first. So organic growth. When you need that push, which is phase 2 or phase 1B, do a boost post on Facebook, do a boost post on LinkedIn. I think it really works wonders. So, and believe me, the buying is not very expensive. You can put in as low as 1,000 rupees to try it out and see. So that's one. Um, I think someone raised hand also right now. So Shireen, I'll just unmute you to answer your question, or you can unmute yourself and ask me a question.
Sure, I've also typed it in the chat box more.
Oh,
So
okay.
I actually wanted to ask that for a organization, which is positioning and pitting its products to the corporate community, we understand that LinkedIn is a good platform to reach out. But in the last 2 months and even prior to that, we've seen that there are so many sponsored posts and other such things that most of our posts go unnoticed. So how does one deal with that for a startup firm which is not really investing too much money into the activity?
Okay, so let me, this could also answer even Amit's question. Let me give you the 4 ways to reach out, and let me keep the buying and the paid version last. So I think one would be the organic way of reaching out, which is also on LinkedIn, especially since you asked me, is using hashtags. So people are using keywords like hashtags which are relevant to the content, and that is actually helping in discoverability, which is very very critical and very important today. So even if you're just writing a post of announcement, and you end up writing the hashtags, it becomes easy for people to reach out to you. That's one. Second, uh, the best way forward, and I know Shireen, I think you're on Instagram. The best way forward, if you like create a story on Instagram, you generally have you share it with friends, and you have share it with close friends up to 25, 30 friends. With that logic, I would say that have that LinkedIn post and share it with your close network of people on LinkedIn. So you know for a fact that what do I say? They You are able to reach out to the right set of audience. Okay, so that becomes your network and your way of reaching out to them. The third would be you see who are the influencers in that current context. So in your circle, in the probably I'm just keeping it very broad, like in the HR circles, who are the people? So I think reaching out to them with that link also could be a very interesting format, or using their quote and you sending them back to them, saying that we have used. I think that also becomes a good way to reach out to influencers. And the fourth and final way would be that you actually use a paid medium like the boost post on LinkedIn itself. So these would be the mediums that I would use, and it needs to have a structure in place, and that's how you would probably have better engagement even on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Moksha.
Yeah. uh, Request to elaborate on LinkedIn and how to increase our connect being professional platform. Rushin, I think I've just mentioned that. So if there's something more specific that you want to ask, that would be helpful. Okay, Shireen, I've answered. Yash, I'm into a new car buy sell business and I've tried to promote the same on FB and Insta, but the leads I have always kept Mumbai as location, so I've seen the leads coming from different parts of the country. I do it myself, hence the learning. Any suggestion or guidance? Yash, for I think car buying and selling, uh, I think you should promote yourself as a more of a first personal brand that you know about cars. So, and I know for a fact that you know about cars. So if you can look at first establishing that you are the expert on Facebook and Instagram, and then recommend buying or selling of a new car or even a used car, then people will probably look at your recommendation and go ahead and buy it also. But to answer your question on the location specifically, Facebook has an option that you could limit your location of your post to a specific city. In the US, it can be even be specific to a pin code. So, but that's not applicable to us. But you can keep it as a location specific post. That should be helpful. Ashish, can a digital consultancy merge technology and the traditional ways of business as India is still not completely digital? Ashish, great question. We do that as a digital agency. Uh, we say we are digital, and we do a lot of digital projects from website, social media, SEO. We do a lot of these projects, but we also are into designing magazines. So I'm part of Rotary, and I so we design their magazine, which is called Front Runners. So we also do traditional designing, but at the same time, we have a QR code so that people can download the PDF of the magazine also online. We have a QR code because there's a quiz in the magazine to get the solutions on the website. So the idea is that that merge needs to happen, so people can read the articles on the magazine, but at the same time they can read the magazine in the physical format also. Okay, so guys, some of you have kind of joined in right now. So just to let you know, if you have any questions, you can put it up on chat. I am answering these questions through chat right now, but if you have a question, you can raise your hand and we will address those questions. Uh, just in between taking a break, just to let everyone know, thank you for joining in. Um, it was a pleasure interacting with everyone. Um, so I'm going forward to the next question. Um, Nitinji is asking, we are in meal service business. We do have certain USP in terms of quality. We are currently operating B2B, but the business seems to be falling. How can digital marketing help us? We would like to go B2C soon. Will digital marketing be able to help us? Um, Nitinji, I strongly feel that if you have already clearly defined if it's going to be B2B, I think you stick with that. That would be my initial recommendation given the current pandemic scenario. Um, but here's another point that I also want to bring in. B2B is a very interesting module of business from the digital point of view. You have an influencer in place and then you have a large number of consumers. So in your case, it could be the admin, the HR, these kind of people who would you need to be influencing a lot more. So I strongly feel that if you can create some kind of a community, something like, just top of my head, I would say create a community of people from HR who love food, people from HR who love to travel for food. Now, if you can merge this community together, believe me, I think you have a strong case to reach out to people. So, so if there is something on those lines, nothing like it that you'll be able to reach out to B2B. Um, if you're going to be looking at B2C, Nitinji, I strongly feel using one of the many food aggregators that we have today. You could look at Zomato, you could look at Swiggy, and use those platforms, use their paid revenue models that they already have attached to it. I use Zomato. I think Zomato has adapted to the pandemic so brilliantly well. There's no two ways about it. Um, so I don't know if you know this. There's this fellow from my BNI days that that used to have who used to have a restaurant, and now he's selling. So the restaurant is shut. So now he's selling vegetables through Zomato. So that's one. Yeah, Nitinji, I'll unmute you so you can. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
The problem with aggregators in this business is that they don't eat into your business. They actually eat your business. Zomato today ends up taking almost about 35% of your base price. And in meal service business, your margins are not that big because you're doing meals. You're not doing one specific item. You're not selling a burger for 150 rupees. You're selling a full meal for 100 rupees. So their aggregators don't work.
Okay. So probably not for the meals then, but then you probably want to create something as a platform that you could reach out to B2C. So with that level of B2C, then it will be only to that specific location.
Yes, we will be location specific in terms of if you are doing Gurgaon, we're doing Gurgaon only. We don't want to go beyond Gurgaon.
No, I'm saying if you're doing Gurgaon, just stick with one sector to begin with. I'm not even saying the entire Gurgaon. Don't try and address the entire Gurgaon also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So like, and especially in that case, then you in Gurgaon, you could look at the food truck, the way they are established in that one particular sector. So I think that would be one way of looking at it with visibility. Cool. Um, good question, Nitin. Okay, Vivo 1807. I've recently started a. Okay, Padmaji. I have recently started a food channel in YouTube. Can posting the link in Facebook increase my YouTube views, or it will increase my Facebook reach? Ma'am, Facebook and YouTube are competition. So if you paste your YouTube link on Facebook, Facebook does not will not give you any advantage to the YouTube link. You, if you want to create a Facebook reach, you create content for Facebook. If you are creating content for YouTube, then you create content for YouTube. So it's either way. So posting the link will only help, but I think the better way forward would be, if you're creating a food channel in YouTube, and if it's going to be like a 5-minute video on YouTube, create 20-second, 30-second videos of that YouTube channel, of that YouTube video, and put it up on Facebook. So Facebook thinks that you are creating something for Facebook, and you still drive traffic to the YouTube channel for views. That would be an ideal way forward.
Thank you.
Okay. Good question. Can you throw some light on beyond these platforms on cyber security? HP. Can you throw some light on cyber security? What kind of cyber security are you referring to? Do let me know. I'd like to address that question. What's the impact or influencer marketing? Okay. Influencer marketing would be, so let me give you a very simple example. Okay. Like there's Ashish ji who is into leather accessories. There's Nitin ji who's into a specific business or food. So food bloggers are many out there. Okay. Sanjay ji is into fashion t-shirt industry. So you have these popular people on social media, and these popular people on social media would be your people who have followers on Instagram, followers on Twitter. And basically, I would want each one of you to increase that followers through your personal branding exercise. And that's the idea. So you become the influencer for that industry. So Nitin ji should be looking at approaching food bloggers in Gurgaon. Ashish ji should be looking at approaching people who are influencers for accessories. So those, okay, Sanjay ji could be looking at people who are into, t-shirts or fashion. So those would be the kind of people. Now, these bloggers, influencers charge from 2,000, 5,000 rupees per post, and depending on their followers to 50,000 rupees per post. And I feel that kind of gives you an easy impact on your marketing. So using these influencers is like using a pamphlet to your audience. So that's how I can explain this to you in a very simple term. But yeah, because they have the influencers, because they have the following, because they are popular on that social media platform, you should be using them, and there is no harm in paying them. So that should be the idea forward. Wow, these are amazing questions. Okay, Manav, what's the best way of advertising a cloud kitchen offering? Manav, cloud kitchens are, like I can tell you in the context of Bombay, Andheri is full of cloud kitchens today. They don't have even a sitting arrangement. People just come and pick up food and leave. So again, if you're a cloud kitchen, I would say that if you are thinking of social media, I would say that either you become the expert on Instagram about food or cloud kitchen management. That could be one personal branding exercise. Or you actually you take that forward from a cloud kitchen to just spending money on aggregators. That would be again my approach, rather than trying, because we all have limited budgets on marketing. I would not try and tell you to go across all social media and go across all the aggregators. Just pick one or two maximum So like if you pick up Zomato and if you pick up Instagram, I think that should be the way forward. I hope I have answered your question, Manav. Okay. I was referring to cybersecurity issues in online platforms. Sorry for typing error. Okay. HP. So sorry, I don't have your name with me, but HP, great question about cybersecurity. We all have these issues. I think India is one of the leading in cases of fraud, online fraud, and also leading in detection of those frauds and even resolving the crime. So I don't think as an individual you need to worry about cybersecurity, because if your credit card is being swiped, you get the money back within 48 hours, even though it may not be it may be wrong and somebody has taken your credit card details from somewhere or the dark net. But if you're from a business point of view looking at cybersecurity issues, I think that's a separate conversation from a business point of view, because I would like to understand what kind of business you are in and what are the security issues you could be facing, and then each one of them will need to be dealt individually. But let me just tell you, I am working on a specific project on education with a publisher, and he is taking his entire books library online. He publishes books for colleges. All colleges are shut today. So he's taking his entire library online, and he doesn't want it to get downloaded. No print screen, no printouts, no, like any other way that we can copy it, that should be stopped. So we are trying to deal with every specific security threat that he could have to his content, and we are telling him that we will look into it. I can give you a Hotstar example also. Hotstar, if you watch, you cannot take a screenshot, neither from your phone, neither from your laptop. You can't, beam your Hotstar from your laptop to your TV. You can't beam Hotstar from your laptop to even a projector. So that's the level of security. But again, need to understand your business. Um, uh, Kaval Juneja ji, professional cannot advertise. Then what do you suggest with regard to digital marketing? Kaval ji, I would recommend that you showcase your expertise by writing content. And that's my underlying thing for a personal brand. You need to go out there and talk about yourself. No one else will talk about you other than yourself, and you know yourself the best. So we can discuss what topics you need to write on. I know what uh, your expertise lies in, so we can build at least 20 to 25 different topics, and we need to push it out there and just keep writing about it. Because once you write, and then we can distribute it to all your clients. So you would have from all the budgets that we can talk about. We can have all the quarter ending results that we can talk about. We can look at all the income tax issues that people face, and it's not like you're providing it for free, but you're guiding them and telling them that I'm the expert in this, come and talk to me. And that would be the best way forward for you. And I've seen you on Instagram live also, and I think that should also be a good way forward. V Ramkumar ji, I'm into placement of coffee and tea machines in corporates in Delhi NCR. I tried to post some topics in LinkedIn and Facebook, but did not get any response. Any suggestion? Um, Sir, my suggestion would remain the same. Push organic content first. You're not getting organic reach. Create your network on LinkedIn and send it across by InMail, which is the personal messaging of LinkedIn. Send that link across for people to talk about it. Highlight some influencers in your post. So you would have someone who would be very active on LinkedIn, one of your customers, one of your clients. Tap into his LinkedIn network and mention him. And that all said, put 1,000 rupees. LinkedIn will create that engagement for you for that specific content, and it really will work in your favor.
So you say LinkedIn is a better platform for this coffee and tea machine industry?
Definitely, because all your HR and admin are super active, hyper active on LinkedIn today. So I would highly recommend that you look at LinkedIn. And I think my recommendation also would be something similar, that you kind of create like an online activity, and probably 6 months down the line, offline activity for all your customers. And it could be a coffee drinking session. It could be a tea drinking session. So you basically create some kind of a property. So, that will only help you to build that customer base and engage with that customer base.
Okay. Do you feel that if you make some 20 seconds or 30 seconds video, like about the coffee and tea machine, or maybe some, animations, having coffee and enjoying it, will that make some difference in
100%. Videos work best even on LinkedIn, even on Facebook. So to answer your question, if you make 20 seconds, 30 seconds videos for LinkedIn, it will really work wonders for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whom do we engage for making videos?
Us. You can engage with us. We'll make those videos for you.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll connect on this.
Right. Thanks.
Okay. Hi, Lokesh. So Lokesh is asking a very technical question. Can you help me understand Facebook pixels for the Facebook events? Lokesh, let me take this offline on the Facebook pixel. Okay.
Sure.
But definitely, just to let you know, what is a Facebook pixel? Facebook, like Google Analytics code, gets put onto your website. So you are able to do a remarketing of your current campaign. Facebook pixels are on the similar lines that will put a code onto your website, which is given to you by Facebook Ad Manager. So Lokesh, I'll take you through the steps as a one-on-one later. So you take that code and you put it on your website, and that will work. Specifically for events, I haven't tried, but for fan pages, I have. So I will have to figure that out and let you know.
Great. Thanks, Moksha. I have just a small question also, in relation to the previous question from Veer Ramkumar. See, what happens is when you create a company page in the LinkedIn, why is it so like the reach of that company page post is so less? How can we increase that?
Yeah.
Actually, algorithm Lokesh of LinkedIn has changed now. So if you actually log on from your phone and desktop, you will see entirely different posts. That's one. Second, and it will show you content even which is 4, 5, 6 days old today. So I actually would kind of disagree to the fact that so the views for the post has become higher, but the engagement on the post may be low because you're not giving a call to action, like
in my
post
case,
or comment a post. So
in my case, what is happening? The views are very less. See, if I am putting or if I am posting something from my profile, that is getting the views. But if I am posting something from the company page profile, that is not getting any view.
Yeah. So yeah, because LinkedIn gives priority to individuals than the company pages. So that's very clear. But what I would recommend is, rather than you posting the same content, you share the content from your company page onto your profile. That would be a good hack to use.
Thank
you. Good question, Lokesh. Thanks a lot. Abhijit, hi. We are an online interior design service company for B2C service provider company like us. What digital marketing strategy you will suggest? Abhijit, I would suggest a very similar strategy that we definitely today we should do a lot of webinars pushing that interior design service company of yours across what I would say across your network, across your students, and that is what I would say that you should be doing clearly. That's one. Second is choose one platform, Abhijit, and showcase that you are an expert in the interior design service. That I would highly recommend. And in the social media scheme of things, I would say use LinkedIn as a professional network. But if you want to show your design skills, I would say use Behance. Behance is also a very good platform to showcase your design capabilities. So I would definitely recommend that. Shireen, hi again. There are many platforms available for online events these days. How does it help to organize an event on FB Live or LinkedIn events? Does one benefit from each of these social media handles? How does it help to organize an event on FB Live or LinkedIn event?
You need me to clarify what I
Yes,
meant?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
Shireen.
so I mean, we've been using Zoom for whatever we've done until now, but
Yeah.
I saw that there's an FB Live and there's LinkedIn events also. And we were wondering whether we'd be able to get more mileage and reach if we have these, pro bono events and webinars through these kind of on these platforms instead of using uh, restricted platforms like Zoom and MS Teams and all of those.
Okay.
So I don't know if this directly fits into the ambit of digital marketing, but it's just a question I had relating to.
So I think, Shireen, it makes sense. If you already have a community, it makes sense. That's one. Even if you don't have a community and if you want to showcase your content. So let me put it this way. If you want to take it across to, what do I say, YouTube, Zoom has its own feature. So, and you can do your Zoom calls like this current meeting. I can even put it live on YouTube today.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think it would be better if you do that. Plus,
Yeah.
you could also be recording that content and repurposing and resharing that content with people on I would say Facebook and LinkedIn. So that is what I think the way forward would be. But
Mm-hmm.
if so, like assuming, where does the Facebook Live really work? If you have a compelling social content, I think Facebook will Live will work. If you have a very compelling LinkedIn, honestly, these are platforms for live. So either you use Zoom, repurpose it to YouTube, repurpose it to Facebook. You could do that also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But use one
Mm.
and you can keep multiplying it on the other platforms is my recommendation. Don't try and do all of them.
Okay.
I
Okay.
love Zoom and I would recommend Zoom only.
Thank you, Mox.
Yeah. Okay. HP, can you suggest which one is more appropriate online webinar platform with respect to features, cost, cyber safety among Zoom, Google Meet, GoToMeeting, and Microsoft Meet? Oh, this is Arun. Arun, hi. Arun, I love Zoom, and I repeat that again. And I would highly recommend using Zoom. Zoom has these multiple capabilities that you can do. So, like one simple capability I mentioned to Shireen of going live from your Zoom meeting itself. Screen share is also another capability. Google Meet also has that capability. Zoom has this capability that you can make someone a co-host. My co-host is my wife, who is looking and adding participants so then I can focus on the content. So now these are small things that Zoom has completely taken good care of how you can do your online meeting. Zoom is being used for classes. Zoom is being used for webinars. Zoom is being used for, everyday daily meetings. Zoom is being used for even playing Magic. So you can easily imagine. And we have played Housey also on Zoom. So I think Zoom has tremendous flexibility that one has with Zoom, which no one else has. Okay. Madhuri Lele is asking, how does one become the influencer? Madhuri ji, you can become an influencer. You are an author, definitely. So I think you need to go out there and tell everyone that you are the author of a book. And that is like one tick mark done for being an influencer. Second, you have the specialization of, writing content. So definitely you just need to go out there and write content, and which has been my constant theme to become the influencer. Second, you need to share that content with everyone on social media, and that is something that I would recommend. So if you're writing a 300 word article, you need to make it smaller, 280 characters, 200 characters, and push it across on Twitter. You need to make it visually appealing, and especially if your company can create something visually appealing, put it up on Instagram. With Instagram, you need to add hashtags. With hashtags, you also want to send it across and tag people who would be relevant to you. So each platform would be different, but pick one and be really good at it is what I would say. And it's, if all the platforms have pros and cons, just pick one which you think you are good at or easy to use, and just consistently add content there. Okay, Tabric Solutions. We are a tech startup providing digital solutions in retail and supply chain. What would be your recommendation around introducing an innovative offering to the market while also ensuring that it is not copied by bigger players around? Okay, so uh, immediate medium that I would use Tabric Solutions would be one, choice of videos. So, and the choice of video, the content around that video could be you sharing your mission or vision on it. So you basically connect at a very higher scale, and you share what you want to achieve and what problem you are solving. And that is where I would choose that video coming by. And if you put that across, people who connect with that video will definitely come back and connect with you. And then share that video across YouTube, do a YouTube campaign around it, share that across Facebook, do a boost post, share that across with WhatsApp network of yours, and see to and get feedback if they have understood the content. Share that across your family and friends and get their feedback, and probably just tweak the content of the video. So that's what I would do. And copied by big players around, believe me, Apple iPhone also has been copied from some other players. So it's how you present it rather than be worried about copying. So I would say that you be the first mover and just spread the word around. Pratishta, how do you choose a platform for a personal brand after Twitter and LinkedIn? Now Instagram is fast emerging as a personal branding platform. What are some features of Instagram as a platform for personal branding exercise? If I have to look at engagement today, I would probably choose a TikTok for personal branding, Pratishta. And believe me, the kind of level of engagement that we are getting, the followers that we are getting, even for the TikTok, is humongous. And that's the kind of level of engagement that we have today on TikTok. And people are spending time. If you open up TikTok today, you will not know where 20 minutes of your time went. That's the power of TikTok. And believe me, and here when I say TikTok, you think funny, crazy, stupid videos. It's none of that only. You also have people who are teaching you English. You also have people who are teaching you social media hacks. And those are the ones that I have seen. Now, what if a lawyer and a doctor and a service professional actually takes up to TikTok and makes it serious? So that is one thing I can definitely tell you. But to answer your question specifically on Instagram, I think Instagram has that power today, and even LinkedIn for that matter, that it is reaching out organically to people. You don't need to do a boost post of any kind. So I think like inherently these two platforms has that kind of engagement. So choosing that based on engagement is primarily, I would say, that going forward with. But if you think it's a risk going to TikTok, I think you better take that risk, because definitely your clients won't be on TikTok yet. And I would highly recommend going on TikTok. YouTube also was supposed to be very funny when it started off in way back in 2004 or even earlier. But now you see the kind of content that there is there on YouTube today. So is Instagram effective to promote a YouTube channel? Yes, ma'am. Instagram is definitely will help you promote a YouTube channel. I think the best way on you to promote a YouTube video or a YouTube channel is to get the content of promoting that within your video itself, like asking people to like it, comment on it, and asking people to subscribe to your YouTube channel is one definite way of putting it across. Second is to use the description of your YouTube video very, very effectively. I think that will also help.
Right.
So, so is Instagram effective? Again, Instagram is owned by Facebook. To answer your question, it will not push a YouTube video, but you make smaller videos and put it up as stories, it will help.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Vikram, from Zoom, you can broadcast on Facebook Live, will give you more reach. Yes, Vikram, 100% agree with you. Aditya, we are a B2B exporter catering to Africa, Middle East. How can we use digital marketing to promote our products? And when we are not sure of what type of media, social platforms are being used by potential clients. Aditya, one simple way, you already know some of your clients, call them up and ask what social media they are using. Most likely they are going to be on Instagram. Most likely they're going to be on LinkedIn for sure. So start with LinkedIn and Instagram to begin with. And then you ask if there is an India Mart in Africa or Middle East. Is there something specific that they have that they use? I know for a fact that Botib, which is the WhatsApp like equivalent that is being used in Dubai and Qatar also. So that is something that you could use. So these are some of the platforms if you're looking at Middle East. Africa, if you're exporting to Nigeria, let me know. I have a friend of mine who's in Lagos. I could connect you to him and we can figure it out. How do we have effective call to action? Roshan, the best way to have a call to action is what do you want to achieve? So if you want to achieve views, have views. If you want to achieve, ask for views. If you want to achieve shares, you ask for a share. If you want to have people comment on it, ask for the comment. Like, let me share my slide. Clearly, what I am looking for is training role, consulting role, setting up a website, and implementing your social media strategy. And that is something that's my call to action for my webinar. So thanks for asking. Then I can pitch in my business now again here. So that's okay. Divish, our podcast a new upcoming trend for new market reach to avoid exposure on digital platforms. Our podcast the upcoming trend for building new audience. Definitely, Devesh. Podcast is a big right now. I try and listen to a few podcasts, but I end up listening to what, one or two in a week, because I still like to read. I still like to read on my mobile. I still like to watch TV and actually watch Netflix on TV. So I'm not big on podcasts. Podcast is a big way, but I'll tell you a hack around podcast. Okay. So if you're doing a YouTube video and if it's going to be a talk like this, you could do a transcribe or you could have just the audio play out. And Shireen, I think this would work for you also. So if you have your YouTube conversation, the audio file is separate. You can cut, chop, edit the audio file also and put it up as a podcast. So it's not like you're taking a huge effort just to create a podcast. You're using the same podcast. If you actually go to Spotify and check out their podcast, most of the popular podcasts that are there today are actually from YouTube influencers. There's Marcus, there's I don't know, there are just all those people who you have seen on YouTube. They are the ones who are popular on Spotify charts also. So that is what I would say. Like TED is there on YouTube, TED is there on podcast too. So, but let me ask you this question. Are your customers listening to podcast? If yes, please go ahead and create one. If no, don't bother. Now, the other question that I want to ask you, Devesh, is if you want to create a personal brand, then definitely be on podcast. So that's, I think, the way we should be looking at podcast.
Thanks a lot. Actually, I'm into education and I've been reading a few articles
Okay.
about the podcast thing. Is that a lot of kids have been kind of exhausted looking at screens, and even teachers that after a point, our main core business is to work with teachers. And when we see them attending webinars, I think after a point teachers are exhausted teaching and then even doing webinars with them. So we thought maybe this was another way to engage with teachers and keep giving them some sort of support to introduce creative methods in their classrooms, be it online or offline. So I've just been researching a little bit about it off lately, but it's just, I mean, I was just trying to think that is this something which is worthwhile to explore or no?
So let me, I don't know which profile of kids you are looking at, Devesh, but I can tell you for sure my 6-year-old doesn't sit still for a podcast. I tried making her listen to Prime Music. I tried making her listen to these stories for kids on Spotify. Only when I gave her the headphones, I think the fascination of headphones made her stick to the Spotify one though. But I would say, yeah, I think it's a good idea, definitely, and I think you should explore, because I can give you another perspective. It's not just screen is tiring, but I feel that we can keep them away from the screens by giving them something to listen to. So yeah, I think that's a good way forward there.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, let me know if you need a voice. I think I have a good voice.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, so Bikram, how can you start freelancing career in digital marketing? Bikram, you're going to become my competition soon now. I think you should choose very clearly. You should choose one vertical, and you should look at one platform and be an expert at it. That is going to be my simple advice there to you, Bikram, on that one. But I strongly feel digital marketing is too cluttered today. I would also dissuade you and discourage you from specializing in digital marketing. I would say that you take up digital marketing for hospitals, take up digital marketing for supply chain, take up digital marketing for education, take up digital marketing for lawyers, take up something which is a parallel to it, but don't just stick around with digital marketing. There are just too many players there. Any inputs for marketing standalone hotels? I strongly feel, Manav, marketing standalone hotels today, promote the location, promote the destination rather than the hotel, because people should not be looking at, hotels are going to be, I think hotels would, or tourism industry would be the last of the lot who would be sending out these messages. But I would say that you will start looking at promoting the destination, telling them what can be done. What would you do if you had 2 days, 24 hours spending time at that specific destination? Telling them what they should eat, what they should see, what they should experience. If there's a museum, if there is a pub, if there is a different kind of alcohol that is being served, if there's a different kind of chocolate that is being served. I think those are the kind of experiences would really help. Yeah, Nitinji.
Well, Moksh, every hotel is not located in a destination.
Okay.
For that, you know where Manav is located.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So
Manav, where are you located?
Madhuban, Dehradun, boss.
Okay. So Dehradun. So Nitinji, I personally feel for Madhuban, I think there is so much to do in Dehradun still. And that all that content that it will go will actually be promoting Madhuban, because it will go as Madhuban is recommending it. So if there's a social platform like Instagram of Madhuban, and if you talk about FRI, you're actually being promoting Madhuban there. So very clearly it would be helpful for you to promote other places to see also. So clearly.
Also, the industry is not limited to only tourism. You see, what is now hit is the conferences has got hit, the weddings has got hit.
Yeah, that's the primary hit.
Yeah.
That's the primary hit. That is the major business actually.
True. So, but that will take time. But I feel that I think first individuals will start traveling and get that sense of confidence. Once they have it, they talk about it, and then they will move on to the B2B marketing of conferences and the MICE network that you call it. That will come in later. But I strongly feel, again, you selling the destination is what I would stick with first. And then for them, what you should do is what we are doing for the malls per se, is that we are creating that it is a safe environment to travel into. We are taking all the precautions, and that is the kind of communication is being created, and we are sending it out to all our stakeholders other than the consumers, because we also want the employees back. We also want our stakeholders, our vendors coming to us again, that they should be aware that when the business is opening up, we are still here, that our business will open up, and that's how it should take forward.
So basically, we should put on Insta the safety guidelines that we are operating.
100%.
We put it on Insta. We show that equipment. We show our routines that we are following. I think that should be a good idea.
Yeah, and because if tomorrow any of your consumers also come in, and if they have a waiting time to enter into the main gate of Madhuban Hotel, they should also have that mentality in mind that they don't need to fight and enter in. It is only for their own safety that we are taking that precaution. So
yeah, okay. So thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Cool. But again, I will still stick with the destination part, and other than the pandemic information that's going out.
Destination selling is the most important thing anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Shireen. Thanks, Roshan. Okay. Thank you. Very informative session. Okay. Divesh, unmathschool.com. Divesh, we'll connect on this. Thank you for sharing your URL. I've made a note of it. Awesome. Thanks for Ms. Kaur. Thank you. Okay, so everybody's thanking me. So I just want to do a rain check. People who want to stick around, please do stick around. I know we have gone past 5 o'clock, but do let me know if you still want to stick around. You're more than welcome. I'm here. I think we'll be here for another 15-20 minutes and we can take more questions. Ashish, digital media is dominated by bots and paid reviews. Is there something we can do about it? Ashish, I personally feel you should be doing bots and paid reviews too. There is no harm in doing it. It's rather that you are living in a controlled environment and your controlled messaging going out. And I would recommend that you do those paid reviews. So like example, if you are selling leather accessories on Amazon or any other bag e-commerce place, I would say that please do paid reviews. Request your consumers who you have delivered bags to put those reviews out there. And there is no harm in paying them. There is nothing wrong. So I know you had taken it the different way, and I'm completely changing the mindset that I would like you to look at it. Devesh is thanking me. Yash, Saurabh, great interaction, good session. Oh, perfect. So guys, I really want to thank each one of you to join in. I think it's pretty much, we have spent a good 1 hour with each other. And if you still have any questions, you can put it up on WhatsApp. If I've missed someone out, please let me know. I would be more than happy to get on a call with one-on-one. And if you want to hire us for training, consulting, creating something on the digital front, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to create it for you. All friends and family here, and some clients too. So I think that's about it then. That's about it. So thank you, Lokesh. Thank you, Madhuri. Yeah. Thanks, Abhijit. Yeah.
Thank you, Moksha.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Kavalji. Thank you, Sanjay. So I will look at all the messages. I don't think I can copy all this. No, I can't. So,
Okay, Moksha, coming
Oh.
back to my food business.
Hanji Nitin ji.
Uh, how do you think digital marketing, if I want to go B2C, besides the, what you told me about earlier, how do you think if we do a digital marketing setup and have an in-house person who's taking care of FB, Insta, how do you think it can influence that business?
Honestly, if I tell you, don't go B2C.
My model was actually B2C. We just wanted to do B2B so that we could break even with B2B and get
And
into
that is what I would recommend doing it even now with the B2B business, because what I strongly feel, if you sell from one to many, I think you would reach out to that scale of selling faster. Because to reach out to that one person who can buy 100 of your meals today is going to be much beneficial to you. But if you reach out to that one person, you're going to effectively spend more money to reach out to that one person to buy one meal today. So you will end up spending more money, is the way I see it.
Okay.
So,
But we can while we are doing B2B, we can slowly start promoting, that we are coming into B2C. We can start putting it on Insta channels. We can start putting on Facebooks. We can start putting it on social media that this is a company which is planned to come on B2C business. Because B2C, you see, if the B2B market today is 30,000 people in Gurgaon, the B2C market is 2.5 lakhs.
I agree with you. But to reach that 2.5 lakhs for one meal a day, you will spend a lot more money communicating and then convincing them to buy.
You see, it's an unorganized market.
Yeah.
We are just trying to organize it. It's the B2C market is unorganized. The people are still going to dabbewalas, and there is no quality. So we are just trying to reorganize that into getting quality and replacing the dabbewala.
So then I would say then just narrow down your scope. Instead of that 2 lakh plus base that you're looking at, just narrow it down to probably.
We are wanting to start with 200.
Yeah, just narrow it down to 200 and where these people are.
Okay. Fine.
And the other thing that I would say is you start participating in food festivals whenever that happens, or you create one online food festival even today, so that people get to sample your product.
Okay. So whatever you are suggesting, I think that's a very good idea. Doing online food festivals. I'll get to you on one-on-one on discussing that later.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah.
How do you promote a store like you call it La Marche, or a store like Honey Money Top and digital marketing?
Sorry?
Because that's a business idea that I'm trying to promote also.
Okay.
A multi-brand, what you would call a grocery store, a supermarket.
Like Nature's Basket.
Supermarket, but something better than Big Bazaar. Not Big Bazaar, something better than Big Bazaar, because there we start talking about quality, not just pricing.
So again, I would say that you need to enter into colonies for that. Like instead of, so basically I need, what I'm essentially telling you is, like where I stay is Atur Park. So we need to get into Atur Park. We need to get into Maitri Park. We need to get into the societies. Because once we are there, so even if you're there today, and if you're going to be, using your current line of business of being a premium supermarket, then I would say that you get into these societies and set up a kiosk. Okay. Even today, you can do that by sending up a WhatsApp message to these societies and saying that, we are going to get 100 different items in 100 quantities to your place on every Tuesday. Buy it from us. So if you reach out to
Tell me
them during
something.
the pandemic also, they will keep you in mind and they will trust you even more when the pandemic opens up.
Like Facebook used to do earlier. I mean, I don't know if it still does it. They could send specific area-specific messages. You know, if I wanted, say, I wanted to cover a certain section of Delhi only with my messaging or with my whatever I was doing on Facebook, they could do it. Does WhatsApp for Business also give us that facility that will give me the linkages to the specific areas?
No, WhatsApp for Business is not location specific yet. But what WhatsApp for Business can help you with is just kind of labeling right now. So
Okay.
like you could label the messaging that this is a B2B client, this is a B2C client, this is a B2C sector 28, B2C sector 42, B2C, MG Road. So this is what labeling could be done.
Okay.
That's it right now.
Okay, but this for specific messaging in specific areas, you recommend Google or you recommend Facebook?
I recommend that you have your own database.
Okay.
You generate your own database so that you own that database, because today everything is around the data. So if you own that
Is the data available? Can you buy it?
create one. You create one.
Okay.
So
because creating data is a very time-consuming process. It's not an easy job to do.
So एक बार आप शुरू करोगे, फिर आपको क्या बोलते हैं, उसकी लत लग जाएगी. Because once you have that data, you will know how to use it.
पुराने जमाने में हमारे पास टेलीफोन डायरेक्टरी होती थी ना, ये इसको कर लो. अब तो नहीं है
वो नहीं है. But I think another feature that I forgot to tell you about WhatsApp for Business is automated messages.
Okay.
So you could automate the messaging based on keywords or the conversation you're having. So you don't need to wait for a response. You can directly go out. So if I say hi, Nitinji, so it'll respond hi, Moksh. So automatically those messages can be generated. Or if somebody is putting a query to you, you can respond back to them with the answer.
With a personal name. Okay.
With the personal name.
It's personalized. Okay, that's great. That's great. So we have, what do you feel? We should go for FB or Insta?
Insta.
Okay. But then Insta would be carrying on a lot of videos. FB could be handled with photographs.
No, but you need to make videos, ideally. You need to make a series of photos into a video, whichever format you want to use. In an ideal scenario, everything is going video. And today people have all the time and bandwidth today. They are spending more time on videos only. Okay. Starting from a 3-year-old to a 90-year-old, everybody is consuming videos.
That's true. I mean, as you said about TikTok, I have seen TikTok messages which make sense. I've just got some TikTok messages which are promoting management.
Yeah.
So that's all videos. It's all videos. They may be very short and conveying one simple message of management, but they are there.
Very true. But that's what the attention span of people are becoming like this.
I think it's just me and you discussing.
Yeah, but
Kamal Bhaiya is sitting there listening to us.
Yeah. Chalo. Jagdish Mamaji is also here.
He's also there.
Yeah. Manu Bhaiya is also here. Okay. Aditya ji, Vijay ji, Nirmal ji, Vikram ji, Shrishti, Mark Kurtz. हाँ जी, आपको कोई question?
नहीं, बस we were just trying to catch up and understand और क्या बातें हो रही हैं.
Okay. और कोई question? नहीं, no question. So, any feedback?
I had to tell this feedback to Kamal Bhaiya. He had a question. I don't know, because I got disconnected in between.
Okay.
That professionals cannot do promotions on social media. Kamalji, there are very interestingly, I have some professionals who continuously write their blogs on social media. They keep writing their informative blogs and their opinions on certain laws and certain things which are happening in the world of taxation, whether it's company law, Now, that does give a lot of promotion to those professionals. Sometimes people just approach them because they feel that they have the idea. Unmute. Mox, could you unmute him?
No, I'm not able to unmute him. He's unmuted.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
This type of articles are maximum is being read by the professionals, not by the businessmen.
So
no, they are read by everybody. I read these articles, go online and read so many of these articles.
You are a professional partly also. You started your career with
no,
but so you have a habit of reading it. So you read it.
No, I am in the food business today. I'm in the food business today. My business, food business also. So many professionals who are food professionals, chefs, people doing consultancy services. They are writing so much, and we consult those people because we feel that they have the knowledge.
Okay, thank you. I the day before yesterday, I had a Zoom meeting with the section 270 and 271 AAA, and as well as reopening of the assessment proceedings. With the number of persons, there were a total 100 persons.
So मैं आपको एक और चीज बताता हूँ. कुमार जी, I just read your question. I'll answer it, but I'll tell you another thing. So if people are not reading, and if you want to look at targeting youngsters to probably join you in an articleship, maybe that's something that you're looking at. So you could even show your expertise on Quora today. So you can go on to Quora and answer questions. Quora is another platform. quora.com. आप chat पे देखो आप. So you get to say. हाँ. Okay. Another question is any tips for clothing line for lower middle class TG? Well, this is a clear-cut TikTok generation, and if you're selling online, then so definitely you should be on TikTok, Kumar Shirts, and I think you will be able to get a lot of mileage from this kind of a platform. If you just have a photograph and you put up on TikTok, and it's out there using the right hashtags, you can put up to 30 hashtags on TikTok. So that would be a, I think, ideal way, Kumar Shadji, so to take it forward. So yeah. Abhijit, do you have any questions left? Abhijit?
Yeah, I have one question, Moksha.
Yeah. Tell me.
Moksha, we are fairly doing good with FB ads. Okay.
Hanji.
Of late, we have started getting very active on Instagram also. Okay.
Okay. Fantastic.
Now, lead generation is one thing that is okay. Like we are getting leads because of the price band that we are offering. But then that initial jump of decision to go ahead with us, okay, that decision people are not able to go, and also we are not able to build that awareness funnel, big funnel. We are like very focused on paid ads and paid leads, and we are limited on that lower part of the funnel.
Okay.
So is it something that we need to build awareness on Quora or on other platforms to create or take webinars, so that people will find it easy to go ahead with us? Because initial jump nahi hota. Like we talk to people, they're convinced about it, they're happy with the work also.
Right.
But when it comes to paying, they get hesitant.
Abhijit, for any client to pay up, they get hesitant. वो एक मील के लिए हो, PR एजेंसी के लिए हो, डिजिटल एजेंसी के लिए हो, या कोई भी प्रोडक्ट के लिए हो, everybody gets, और भी तो कोई ऑप्शन होगा. But yeah, so I hear you. I think still, Abhijit, I feel strongly that you can position yourself as an expert. So webinar like you are thinking of doing, I think that's a very good way. Participate in webinars, create your own webinars. I think that would be a great way forward. ठीक है. Second would be being part of the consideration set in terms of being active in line with doing a comparison with others. I think that would also be a good way, Abhijit, to put it together.
Right.
That and the other thing, other than just do a comparison, I think the other thing would be showcase someone else's talent on your platform and recognize them. So if you recognize, so it could be a Indian, it could be international, it could be any work that you feel is appropriate, that you feel that it is in line, and we really appreciate this. This is where we get inspiration, or this is what we aspire to be. I think that's the best way forward to put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what of late we have started now? We started showcasing our projects because people don't know what we do in that price band of 8,000, 10,000.
Right.
So we started showcasing our projects in Instagram as 8 to 10 images kind of stuff. Okay. And we are now increasing giving design tips on the Instagram so that they have some takeaways when they come to our handles kind of stuff. Okay. So is it focusing on just Instagram is sufficient for showcasing the visual branding of the brand? And then for textual and intellectual brand, Quora will be fine. What strategy or YouTube? I don't know. Sometimes it's very difficult for me to think what I should promote on YouTube.
So if it's becoming difficult for you to think something on YouTube, then don't bother thinking about it, honestly. Yeah. Until unless you're not creating 2 to 3 minute videos to a 30-minute video, don't bother creating something for YouTube. If you're okay creating something which are snippets of videos, then create it for 30 seconds, put it up on Instagram story. Probably even start using TikTok today. Use Mithro today. So I'm saying there is no harm in using a new platform and establishing your expertise even on a new platform.
Okay.
So, but it's also what content you're creating. So if you're so that becomes important to do that consideration set. So that, when people are not just deciding should I go ahead or no. And that is where probably you need that one section on the website, which is like testimonials, or which is basically sharing a video of a client where they are saying that, we had so much confusion. We use Design Box and it's really working in our favor.
Right.
So that section probably needs to get added on your website. That content needs to come on your Instagram. But don't push yourself if it's not a natural fit to do YouTube.
Yeah.
Until unless you and Shweta decide saying, we need to do a 30-minute session or a lecture on interior designing. Till that moment, don't go ahead on YouTube is what I would say.
One more question I have, I was listening to your thing that branding a personality, right? Writing a books, writing on the 200-300 words.
Yeah.
Is it a good strategy to brand Shweta since because of her credentials kind of stuff?
100%. Because I know for a fact she'll disagree because I met her, but you will have to push her.
No, I had to push her.
Yes.
That's the core of Design Box, because she is at the core and I am around periphery to bring it.
I strongly feel even if she can curate a coffee table book for developers, I think that also would be a good way forward instead of writing too much content and text, by the way, Abhijit.
Okay. Anyway, thanks, Mosh. Thank you, Aditi. And thank you everybody else for joining in. I should be walking out now.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you, Nitinji, for joining in. Bye.
Bye. Aditi, thank you.
Yeah, Aditi is on mute mode. I'll let her know.
Okay.
Yeah. Chalo.
Thank you so much.
No problem, Abhijit. Let's reconnect quickly. Okay.
Sure, we'll connect.
Sure. Bye.
Take care.